JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 9th of May 2022. So yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a view of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our page, which we with market news and analysis, which we update on a daily basis, so you can check that page out as well, and I believe you can find some useful information around there. Now then, jumping into the charts, guys, so the first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225. The index drifted lower today, as you can see here. It's more of an aftermath from the whole kind of decline that we saw at the end of last week, and the US equities, of course, and yeah, this kind of followed suit. But what's interesting here is that from the technical perspective, if you remember, I talked a lot about this potential idea of seeing this one as a descending triangle pattern. And yeah, we came very close to the lower side of it, and we failed to kind of break below it. So in other words, it's kind of working out nicely here. So the bulls are a little bit on the happy side because it's not really declining as fast, as the sellers would want it. But yeah, at the moment, if you're looking for some lower levels, well, we'll just have to wait for a drop below that 26,300 zone. At the moment, yep, I'm waiting here. Yes, we did get that decline. That's great. We dropped below that 26,571 territory, and we've tested this highlighted area. So now we need, in order to go further down, we need to see a nice good drop below that hurdle as well. And then, of course, we'll target the current, or actually I wouldn't say the current, but the lowest point of April near the 26,050 zone, and then so on and so on. We'll go slowly to the downside. Shanghai Composite, guys. So Shanghai Composite did drift a little bit to the downside, but not significantly. Yeah, it moved lower. It's in negative territory currently, but as you can see, the bulls are still trying to fight back here, and so far so good. Now again, although we are seeing some negativity right now, I would actually prefer to wait for a confirmation break, and at the moment for me that would be somewhere around this 2,950 zone, 50 around here, 55 maybe even. And then yeah, if we drop below that, then I'll get a little bit more excited with the downside. At the moment, yeah, I'm just observing the price action here as long as it stays in this area right here. For the upside, well, I would like to see a break of this downside line taken from the high of the 3rd of March, and if we do climb above it, then yes, I'll go for some higher levels. The German index, DAX, yeah, looking at this picture here, you can see that we've drifted lower. We've moved nicely below this hurdle, below this highlighted area, this 13,850 zone. I talked about this, and I said that my next target is the 13,577 territory, which we managed to kind of almost reach last week. If we take a look at the cash index right now, we'll see that the index is trading at around 13,540 level, so that means we are below this area, this hurdle, and well, if we continue to trade below it, then certainly yes, I will go for lower levels. This would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and my next target is the area in between that 13,150 and the 13,200 levels, and then, like I said, we'll just take it from there. For the upside, I would need to see a push back about the 13,850 zone, or even 13,887 level here, in order to get a little bit more maybe excited with the larger correction to the upside, because don't forget that we're still trading below this downside line here. The S&P 500 drifted to the downside, as you can see here, but then of course managed to recover somewhat at the end of the trading session. But what's interesting here is this hurdle here, this area between the 4,057 and the 4,061 levels, did provide good support. These levels are the low of the 12th of May of last year and the low of the 19th of May. So we managed to kind of come very close to that area. As you can see here, we've tested that area on the 2nd of May as well, and we've rebounded from it. On Friday, we drifted lower again, closer to this area, but kind of didn't really reach exactly that zone. However, we came very close to it and then rebounded as well. If we take a look at the cash index right now, we'll see that yes, we are still trading at around 4,083 zone, so we're below this, for example, hurdle, this 4,115 zone. So there is still hope for the sellers to step in here and drive this one lower. However, if you're a little bit on the careful side, and I do understand that some of you might see this as maybe a potential double bottom pattern here, but if we do break this this area here, this key support zone, then well, my next target is somewhere around here, near the low of the 25th of March of 2021, of course, and that near the 3,853 level. But again, first let's see if we can break this highlighted area, which I'm going to highlight just right now. So yeah, let's see if we can clear up this hurdle. So long story short, it is quite an interesting moment right now for these sellers, but again, like I said, I would get a little bit more comfortable with that, with the downside, if we get a drop below this highlighted area. If we start climbing somewhere above this 4,200 level, back above it, then well, I'll consider maybe a bit of a correction here to the upside. DXY, the dollar index, so we pushed through this barrier, this 103.82 zone, and yeah, now we're just, you know, traveling higher basically, and in a way we need to kind of find a good potential area here of resistance somewhere higher. Well, if you take a look at this picture, basically you can see that yeah, we cleared the highest point of 2017, so once again we are pushing nicely above it. Now okay, of course, preferably I would like to see a test of this 107.31 level, which is the highest point of December of 2002, but actually I'm gonna kind of aim for something in between the current level and that target, near the 105.41 level here, marked by the inside swing low of the let me just grab this one, of the lowest point of September of 2002. So yeah, that's the target for now. If we continue to trade above the highest point of 2017, guys. Let me jump back into the daily chart, and for the downside, now this is where a few adjustments have to be made. Certainly I'm going to still keep an eye on that 103 zone, but to be honest, I mean, we could already start looking at some lower levels if we start dropping somewhere below this hurdle, this 100 and 103.62 level, approximately around here. This marks the inside swing high of the 4th of May, and it's near the low of today. So if we drop back below it, then maybe this could show some weakness, and we could see a bit of a retracement here to the downside. Gold. Gold is drifting a little bit lower. It's currently in the red, but continues to trade above that 200-day EMA. Nevertheless, in general, looking at this picture, it's not really a very positive one. Overall, yes, we are trading between these two trend lines, this medium-term upside line and this short-term tentative downside resistance line. So we're kind of still in between that, but it's quite a big area here. So basically, we could see this one, let's say, drifting a little bit further south. You know, we do have the dollar right now kind of pushing further north. So you know, this could put some pressure on the gold here, and we could see this one drifting lower. However, I'm going to be very careful because I'm going to initially aim for this upside line. Initially I'll aim for the current lowest point of May near the 1850 zone, but slightly below that we do have this upside line, which could, you know, play out nicely. And if it does provide support, a nice rebound could be possible. Of course, if this upside line gets broken, certainly yes, we'll start looking at even lower levels. But at the moment, let's keep it short and simple. WTI oil it managed to remain above this area that I talked about last week. So this 108.70 and the 109.05 area. So this kind of resistance zone, which we managed to break last week and stay above it. So we're continuing to trade above it. So that means that there is a good chance for this one to continue moving higher, where I'm going to aim initially for that 115.80 level, sorry, 114.80 level, or this 116.61. So these two targets for me are going to be valid if we continue to trade above this highlighted territory right here. If we start falling below it, well, yeah, we could start maybe, you know, considering correction lower. However, I would prefer to wait for a break of this upside line, the short-term tentative upside support line taken from the low, the 25th of April. If we break through that and we drop below the 21-day EMA again, then yeah, I'll consider a move to the downside. I'll consider this move as being a corrective move because, well, don't forget we're still on an uptrend here. BTC USD, so it's not a very good moment right now for the cryptos, and especially all those cryptos against the US dollar. So BTC USD here is drifting, continuing to drift lower. Yep, not very good right now for the crypto world and for those who hold the cryptos, but hey, it's part of the game, guys. So at the moment, yeah, we are aiming for this lowest point of January, so near the 32,933 level, and if we find some support around here, then yeah, maybe a bit of a rebound here could be possible. However, if we don't, well, this could turn out to be a little bit more ugly for a few more sellers here, because a break below this area would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and the next target here could be that lowest point of July of 2021 near the 29,301 zone, and then yeah, we'll just take it from there. AUD USD, guys, so this one jumping into a few pairs, of course. AUD USD so continues to slide, and as I said before, that last week, if you remember, so that if we drop below the 0.7030 zone, then my next target is the 0.6967 area, somewhere around here, marked by the lowest point of January of this year, and well, to be honest, the current lowest point of this year in general. So let's see, you know, if we can drop below that. If we can, then well, this is where we could go further south and potentially aiming for this little area, the 0.6776 zone, marked by the low of the 15th of June 2020. Of course, currently we are resting at a very interesting spot, I would say, because this is where we are currently at. Let me just zoom in here a little bit. So yeah, this is where we are at right now. So this is the lowest point of 2020, November of 2020, and we are approaching that area very quickly. So in that which means that, let's say, it might find support somewhere near this 0.6991 level, which is the lowest point of November of 2020, and it might not even, let's say, drift to the lowest point of January and then reverse back to the upside. So, you know, keep that scenario in mind as well, because like I said, we are approaching quite an interesting area here. If it holds, great. We might see maybe a bit of a rebound. However, if it fails, we are prepared for that as well, because we are aiming for that lowest point of 2022. Now AUD NZD, long time no see, because this is one of my favorite ones here. I do like to look at this pair occasionally, and yeah, after we had this nice move to the upside where we reached this 1.1110 zone, as you can see here, we're now seeing a bit of a retracement, so it's all fine and nice here. So in a way, there is still room for a larger correction to the downside. However, as you can see, we have found support somewhere around here, near this 1.0998 zone, or if you want to round it up here a little bit, the 1.10 zone. So we found support near this 1.10 area, and we rebounded. Now, I don't like these scenarios when we are here. It's kind of a bit of a no man's game, because in a way there is still potential for this one to drift lower. It could do that. It could do so if it drops below the 1.10 zone. It also could rebound. Maybe this could be seen as a nice bullish flag here as well. So in order to kind of, protect yourselves here, then maybe just wait for a violation of one of our key levels here. So for the upside, the 1.1110 zone, that's what we need here. Or actually we can round it up to 1.1111, so all the ones here. And for the downside, a drop below the 1.10 territory might do the trick here for a bit of a larger correction to the downside, towards this upside line. And then of course we'll just take it from there. USD Jpy, so pushing to the upside, guys, at least trying to do so. As you can see here, we are approaching this key resistance area, which is the highest point of April, and that's roughly around that 131.25 level. So in order to go for higher levels, a nice good strong push above that area is needed. So for now, I would say if you are considering, like I said, a higher move, then yeah, we need to see that confirmation break, and we would like to see also the pair staying above that area as well. If we want to see maybe a move to the downside, now this is where we'll get rid of this downside line. In order for us to consider and get comfortable with the downside, maybe a drop somewhere below this area here is needed. So not only this upside line that we would need to see a break off, but also maybe somewhere starting off from the 129.40 level here, and then going slowly towards this 128.60 area. And then yeah, if that gets all this clear, then of course the next target is the 21-day EMA, which if also fails to provide support, then yeah, we could go to the downside. Now the reason why I'm mentioning all these levels here, because basically if we break the upside line, yes, we could already, like I said, start looking at some lower levels, but of course we'll be very careful, just because it might easily reverse back to the upside as well, and push higher. That's why we need to have a careful stop loss around here, and then the next target is around here, and then so on and so on. So let's keep an eye on this, and let's take it from there if we eventually do see one of the breaks here. GBP USD, so this one continues to slide, and we are continuing to aim for that 1.2252 level. We're approaching that area. To be honest, I said that before, that if we drop below this 1.2411, then my next target is the 1.2252 area right there. In a way, if that gets clear, this 1.2252 level is the lowest point. Actually, I think it's the lowest. Let me just double check very quickly. I think, yeah, that's the lowest point of June of 2020. If we clear that, then the next target is the lowest point of May of 2020, near the 1.2077 level. For the upside, now I would prefer actually to wait for a push back above the 1.2411 area in order to get a little bit more excited with let's say a move to the upside. The only issue then I would have is this tentative, short-term tentative downside resistance line. So depending on how and where we will be at that point, let's say if we do climb back above the 1.2411, maybe it will kind of align itself with this downside line, and we'll have a nice break of it as well. So yeah, keep that in mind. Again, like I said, there are, but I will start maybe considering a move higher if we climb back above the 1.2411 area. Now, Euro NZD, so a quick update on that one. So everything mission accomplished, because my target was the 1.6529 area. We've cleared that one today. So now for me the question is, can we stay above this hurdle, this 1.6529 zone? Well, I mean, at the moment I would say not only above that, to be honest. I would even actually give it a little bit more room here for maneuverability, and I would say as long as we stay above all of these EMAs in general on our daily chart, then yeah, I'll continue targeting the upside. And my next target will be somewhere probably around here, approximately around this 1.68 zone, and then we'll just take it from there, guys, as always. For the downside, I would need to see this one breaking this upside line here, taken from the low the 5th of April, and then yeah, we could consider maybe a bit of a move lower. And finally, EURUSD, guys, very quickly on that one. So we're breaking this upside line, so that's one thing, one part of the bearish scenario. But the other one is, of course, if we drop below this 1.0495 level right here, and if we do drop below it, then well, that's where we will go for lower levels, and we will start aiming for the lowest point of December of 2000, the lowest point of January of 2017. We're near the 1.0340 area, and then yeah, we'll just kind of go from there, see what he wants to do after. But like I said, that's in the scenario if we drop below the 1.0495 zone and stay, of course, below that. If we do that, or do all that, then yeah, my next target is the lowest point of 2017. For the upside, I will still stick to this 1.0636 level, and then yeah, if we climb back above it, then I'll go for some upside. But even then, we'll be very careful, because we do have some downside lines that could play out. So one of them could be this one. But again, depending on how and when, let's say if we can eventually reach this area, if we can, then yeah, I'll keep an eye. Maybe it will align itself with this downside line, and all this could play out nicely for a nice breakout. So, but let's not rush into anything yet. For now, we're leaning a little bit more towards the downside, but a confirmation break is still needed. So guys, that's it for this session. I really hope you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching and listening. I really appreciate your time, guys, your views, your likes, your comments, all that. That really is helpful for me. So thank you very much, and I hope you'll join me tomorrow. Tomorrow, as always, in my Traders Espresso, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful trading day. Stay safe, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.